So, still in the botanical gardens, what is flying over? We are seeing parrots that are flying over. There are so many African grey parrots because there is enough habitat for them to breed, enough habitat for them to get food, enough habitat for them to feel safe, so they move around. And they tend to spend most of their time, like around this time, on this Canarium swiftlanthi. Canarium swiftlanthi is called the essence tree. In the ancient times, essence was a very big thing, very, very, very big. People would travel to the east to look for essence, for embodiment of dead bodies, for essence for burning in homes, with nice things. Meaning that if we had not developed other essences, which some these days we have even artificial, people would either have cut down all these trees to look for essence, or there would be very big forests of Canarium where guys would come to do very big trade, like they will export coffee, would be exporting a Canarium gum. So Canarium is a very good tree. It is indigenous in Uganda. It produces good fruits enjoyed by almost all animals in the wild, from monkeys, birds. It is like a congregation. It would be like a conference hall for people, where they go for entertainment, but all these animals come here to eat, to create its own ecosystem. And it is one of the trees that is indigenous in Uganda, or in the botanical gardens specifically. When you look at it, it is a tree with a very high buttress. It is a tropical tree. It grows very tall, almost up to 50 feet high and more. It has got a DBH which is so wide. When you look at it, just take a picture of that indigenous tree here, and then we look at this other tree, which is also indigenous, but the type of tree differ. The buttresses are different. The bower, or what we call the stem, the Canarium is tall, whereas this tree here, which is being strangled by a fig. What is its name? It has a name here. Poindus ananka. It is a tropical tree and is found in Uganda. It is more ornamental than wood. It is a tree that grows up to around 30 meters tall, with a crown which is very wide. Its crown sometimes is bigger than that one of Canarium. It is also a good spot for a good tree for wildlife habitats. The way the buttresses, these are buttresses. Most people might mistake this for being a stem, but this is a buttress. A buttress is part of the root to support a tree, to give it good structure. It holds soil around. That means that if you planted this tree on a slope, it will hold to reduce some soil erosion. Can also be a good home for wildlife, mainly the animals that don't make nests, the animals that don't burrow but can look for where to stay at night. When you look at it, it is a good water retainer. There are so many plants growing around, and those are the advantages of the botanical gardens.
Wow.
This Canarium tree, here, we look at its crown, we look at its branches. It has got a lot of advantages as far as the human being is concerned. It's mainly people who are staying like in Entebbe, who have built along the botanical gardens and everything. It reduces on the strength of the wind. It produces fruits for animals, mainly birds, hearing the sound of the grey parrot. It also provides nutrients to the soils around us. It brings up the water table. You know, when the water table is down, we don't access water easily, but this tree brings the water table closer. If you came here and you wanted to drill a borehole, the water might be in 10 meters from here or less. So these are the advantages of having such a trees in our environment.
Do we have some trees which are only found here and we cannot find them somewhere else? Or do we have already trees here? We need to know more about these trees
Okay,
and their history.
thank you very much for that question. This Canadian tree, where I've concentrated on it, is one of those trees that were found here when they were trying to create the botanical gardens. If the botanical gardens were created, officially opened in 1898, in 1998 they were 100 years, and by 2008 they were 110, 2018 they were 120, 2028 is going to be 130 years. But this tree, I strongly believe, according to its history, that is older than that age.
Okay.
Is stronger than 150 years. It is older than 150 years. And that one makes it an attraction. And then a blessing to the nation. I wonder how much wildlife has depended on this tree for all those years. It is not only found here, it is found in all tropical forests in Uganda. You asked me a question where there are trees that we only find here in the botanical gardens. There is a baobab tree that was planted. We shall move around and you see baobab tree. Baobab tree is a tree that's found in southern Africa, mainly in savanna areas, in Kenya, arid savanna areas. Trees that grow for, have stayed for so long, but they do not do well in tropical areas like here. When we go and visit the baobab tree, shall find that the baobab tree here is small, and this tree was planted long ago, when or before the establishment of the botanical gardens. That sound of parrots really intrigues me. If you are hearing the parrot, you remember Uganda Wildlife Education Center is not far away from here. And before they did, they do a lot of rehabilitation on wildlife, birds, all animals, and when they are rehabilitated, some of the animals are released in the wild. For example, the parrots. I think they did a test release here in the botanical gardens, and what we are seeing today is something that gave them hope, encouragement to continue on rehabilitating and releasing mainly parrots and other birds, because the parrots have multiplied. The botanical gardens, I think, on one go can have more parrots than you can find anywhere in any protected area that you can visit. Reason being that the food is there, they were released here, nobody harasses them, there's a good breeding ground, and they can always visit back, you can come back. That is one of them. So those are the advantages.